uh, in the starting itself, we got to know like what is the point to be getting it to clear before starting the software, like where it is used and what is the
Mm.
alternative use of it.
Mm.
And in that regard, like it is used in all editing places, like starting from your television, film, ad film, CBT, okay,
Mm.
private album. So all these sectors where Premiere is used, mostly like it is used in your television and local ads, private albums, because it is more into the Adobe product, and Adobe does have
Mm.
its beautiful product like Illustrator and Photoshop. So it combines with them, so it goes very smoothly with the designing
Mm.
software. So people prefer for this. But the question like, what is the alternative of Premiere? Yes, your FCP, Avid.
Mm.
So it is a different software which is alternative of Premiere. Not only
Yes,
that,
sir.
but we do have some smart editing software inside your mobile also. It came up like fast movie editing are done up. And here I
Yes,
forgot
sir.
to speak like YouTube videos, YouTube
Mm.
short films, documentary.
Mm.
So this is endless. This many
Yes, sir.
career are there.
Mm.
And here we have seen the software, like this is also endless. A lot of software are there,
Mm.
a lot of.
Mm.
Then why Premiere?
Mm.
And the answer is it is a product of Adobe.
Hello.
And the advantage of Adobe is like, yes, we can able to get the connection with 4 to 5 software directly. What are those? One is After Effects,
Release. Mm.
Illustrator, Photoshop,
Photoshop.
InDesign.
Mm.
So directly we can connect with this designing, editing, composite, and layouting softwares.
Mm.
So this is the advantage of learning the Premiere with compared to the others. Yes, they do have
Mm.
a nice features, but this is the advantage here. They are all of Adobe companies, so they connect very fastly. Fine, then here we'll switch to the sizes now. If this many like places where we can able to use Premiere, then their relevant size are different. So film works in a different size, television works in a different size,
Mm.
and computer based albums all are documented have their own file formats and sizes.
Mm. Mm.
So the first thing comes like, what are the sizes to be used and why it is called here like Premiere project file. So there is a technical word here we have using, that is called project rather
Project.
than a file. So the reason behind it is like we are going to work with multiple sequence. Now the next technical terms come sequence.
Mm.
So in a single project, number of sequence are there. There is no concept of file here. In Photoshop,
Mm.
we define file, but here it is called project. The reason behind it, in a single project, we can able to have multiple sequence, like fight sequence, dance sequence, action sequence, all the sequence combined together to form a film project. So film is a project, then each and every like emotion is breakdown into sequence, and each sequence is taken care by number of shots, and these shots are created by number of texts,
Yes, sir.
and take is composed of the frame or frames. Take maybe a single image could be a frame or it could be frames. So we have understood the skeleton of the film. The process is this: take short sequence projects.
Mm.
Now the next word come up like editor's job. What is the job role of an editor? Editor's job role is to make it arrange proper. In a simple cut, make it
Mm.
arrange proper to tell the storytelling process easier. So film is a storytelling process, and the arrangement is done by the editor. So
Mm.
editor takes a major role to make the audience to understand the story properly. It is not relevant to the editor like how does the action has been done, or how does the camera has taken, like lighting is proper or not. That is the
Mm.
secondary part for the editor, because editor has to speak the things properly. Sometimes
Yes,
what
sir.
happens, like once people come out of the theater, they will speak like action బాగుంది, camera taking బాగుంది,
Mm.
song బాగుంది,
Mm.
కానీ స్టోరీ అర్థమైందా లేదు. That
Mm.
means what, editor has not done his job proper.
Yes, sir.
Story, if it is not understandable, means
Mm.
like editor has to taken care of that particular thing. So hope we got
Yes,
to
sir.
know like what is will be our job responsible.
Mm. Mm. Yes, sir.
You need to understand the story proper, then it's okay.
Mm.
Then after
Mm.
it is not good, bad, that is other issues. But people
Yes,
has to
sir.
understand the story. So if story
Yes, sir.
understood, then editor is a hit. Like editor has done
Mm.
its job. So
Mm.
now we have understood what is the job role of a editor. Then to make the people to understand the story, what the editor does. Now the next question comes up.
Mm.
Any field editor does some smart jobs.
Mm.
The basic editor is not only the film editor. Any editor does the same job. Only the platform
Mm.
are different. Like book editor,
Mm. Mm.
newspaper editor. So
Mm.
every people's job remain the same, but the
Mm.
platform are the different. And the goal of all editor is to pass the message proper.
Yes, sir.
And to get it passed, they do some regular event. And what is that
Mm.
event? They do some copy work. They do some paste work.
Mm.
Copy, paste,
Best.
exchange, exchange, repeat.
Mm.
So these are the events they generally does. It may be text
Mm.
editing means book मध्ये కొన్ని చాప్టర్కి హైలైట్స్ అది రిపీట్ అవుతుంది.
Mm. Mm.
దెన్ కాపీ చేస్తుంది, పేస్ట్ చేస్తుంది, అది రిపీట్ కావాలంటే. నెక్స్ట్ ఎక్స్చేంజ్, కొన్ని టెక్నికల్ టర్మ్స్ ఎక్కువ అయిపోయింది, అది అర్థం
Mm.
అందలేదు స్టూడెంట్కి అంటే బుక్లో ఏం చేస్తుంది, అది ఈజీ వర్డ్ అప్లై, దే స్టార్ట్ అప్ అప్లయింగ్ సమ్ ఈజీ వర్డ్స్.
Yes, sir.
So that same thing is done by the film editor, so that people should understand the story proper. So what has to be, so after what, that is done by the editor, fine.
Mm.
So we have understood now what are the events does by the editor to make the storytelling process proper. Now we have understood what is called project, how many softwares are there, and what is the job role of editor. Now coming to the point of editing, there are again two type of editing are there. There are two type of editing. One is
Mm.
online editing, one is offline editing.
Mm.
So whatever the things we are learning now, that is called offline editing. That means the RUS or the footage will come to this hard disk, from the hard disk to the software, from the
Mm.
software again back to the hard disk, from the hard disk it will go to the different file format or the place.
Mm.
So this process is called offline mm, editing
Editing.
process,
Mm.
and the other one is your online editing process. It is often happen in cricket match, live session of parliament, like
Mm.
weddings. Their
Mm.
live means direct from the camera
Mm.
to the satellite, and from the satellite back to the home.
Mm.
So this is live going on. That's why it is
Yes,
online
sir.
editing.
Mm.
Now, what is the job role of a editor inside the online editing means, like at a times like 20, 30 camera input will come up.
Mm.
Out of
Mm.
that, which camera input has to be shown to the public? One camera only
Mm.
public will be seeing. Then which
Yes,
has
sir.
to be shown, that will be taken care by
Mm.
this editor. Editor
Yes,
will
sir.
take a decision which camera, one or two or three or four or
Mm.
20 camera, then which camera
Mm.
has to be shown to the public.
Mm.
That is to be taken care by this online editor.
Yes.
So now we got an idea like, what does the job responsible
Online
of
and
an
offline.
online editor. Yes,
Yes, sir.
now coming to the offline editing.
Mm.
In offline editing, we have seen the process,
Mm.
and there are various software. Out of that, we are just learning one of the software, that is Premiere. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so we got some idea how many type of editing are there. What is the job
Yes,
role
sir.
of editor? Why
Mm.
these files are not called file? Why it is called project? What is the reason
Project.
behind it? And what is the
Mm.
smallest part of a film? That is frame, and frame is nothing
Frame.
but a image.
Yes, sir.
So by the combination of image, yes, the film is done.
Yes, sir.
So the take, then now there are various takes are there. One
Mm.
take is, what is the take mentioned over here is called approved take. That is
Okay.
called
Approved
approved
text.
take. But a take generally are number of takes. So
Mm.
unapproved and approved. Sometimes it
Mm.
comes everything to the editor desk, and the editor has to do the approved take. So
Mm.
all the takes are there. This is unapproved. Approved.
Mm.
Whenever it is approved, then it comes onto the
Mm.
pipeline. But To take a approved take, they take multiple takes
mm,
on approved takes, and it will be taken care by a person that is called log sit maintainer. So he will be maintaining the log
yes,
body.
sir.
So which take is taken, which not to be taken, and that will be tick out there inside the shooting set itself. And this paper
Mm,
will come to this editor, and by looking to
okay.
the paper, he can able to take a decision. Okay,
Mm,
shot number 10,
this is the
take
approved.
number
Oh.
5 is approved.
Mm,
Then take that only. No need to
mm,
see others, and it will
mm,
be helped
mm,
out by the clapper boy. So
mm,
like this is the pipeline. If it is
mm,
done in this way, then it will be easy for the editor to do editing. All the things are
yes,
to be to help the editor. These all the things are done there
mm,
in the shooting set, and
mm,
this makes the filmmaking to do the things
easy.
easily and fastly. Generally, it is
Mm,
not there in general like wedding albums or wedding
yes, sir.
shoots. It
Yes,
is
sir.
not that. But
Mm,
film,
mm,
this is must and clapboard,
mm, mm,
locks it, and the text. So these two are more important in filmmaking
mm,
process.
mm, mm,
And this gives you a long list because rushes will coming a lot. Out of that, filtering
mm,
the rush itself is a time taking process, and these two things will help us. What are those?
mm,
Clapper and logs it. It is a paper. It is recorded inside your rush or the
mm,
footage.
mm.
And so hope we have understood what is the job role of these two
Yes, sir.
equipments.
Mm,
Now we'll be moving to the uh, editing part. But before to that, two, three information to be taken care of. That is called uh, text. We are talking about the
text.
text, and
Text. Yes, sir.
text is again classified into various forms.
Okay.
And the top angle, the text from the shot. So the
Mm,
shot is a part of the take only. So
mm,
takes create the shot. So what is a
mm,
shot or what is a take is once the camera on and camera
mm,
off. This is a
mm.
take.
Yes, sir.
Camera on to camera off. And this takes of various kind with reference to the camera position and camera movement.
Mm,
As per the camera position, camera movement, camera angle. Position,
yes. Mm,
angle, and movement.
mm,
So as per the shots are different kinds. A editor should have a little knowledge about this. That's why we have opened this topic,
okay,
because
sir.
which shot has to be placed where,
Mm,
and that is not inside the software. And this knowledge sometimes help a lot to the editor, because it will be guided by the senior editor to the
mm,
technicians. But before he speak, if the technician knows, he can able to take that particular shot.
mm.
So as per the position, we can able to find um, the high angle, low angle position wise.
Yes, sir.
And basically, like the shots are close, extreme close, mid, long,
Mm,
extreme long. So as per the distance into condition,
mm,
this are there. So close is recognized like from the shoulder and above. If the shot is close, then extreme close only eye expression moods are represented extreme close.
mm,
Mid from the wrist level, mid, and the long is the whole complete body. If it is visible, then it is long.
mm,
And extreme long along with the subject, if we are representing the surrounding, that is extreme long, where the
mm,
event is happening. So these many takes, like as per the position, this many shots could be taken up, and from which shot to which shot to be get jump, there is rule also, and so editor should understand that. Okay, so we have understood a little bit about how many type of texts are there. Now coming to the angles and movements. Low angle, up angle, Dutch angle, they are like angles things. As per the position we have seen, low angle like weed eye view, weed the spell you can check with eye
mm.
view. That means if a ant is watching to the
Okay.
person, then how does it look?
Oh. Mm,
Then this is the camera position. So this
mm.
is with angle. So up angle
Okay,
view.
sir.
So here the
Mm,
character will be very huge kind of
mm,
things. And the bird's eye view, that is a top angle view, is technically called as
mm,
bird eye view. If a bird looks to the
mm,
world, then how does it looks? Then
mm,
that is the camera will be like this. So a
mm,
complete zone will be suitable.
mm, mm,
This is bird eye view or top angle, wide angle. So it will always give you a superior shot, like the foot will be very big compared to the head. So just try to catch the eye. How does the
yes,
shot
sir.
will look up?
Mm, mm,
So here the location, everything will be, so
mm,
drone shot and
Sure.
all things are
Mm, mm,
done to this, and this is a very extreme close-up. Fine. Now the special angle is your Dutch angle, where the uh, land will be crossing the diagonally. Your
mm.
horizon will cross diagonally to the frame. That is called Dutch angle.
Oh, okay.
So in this angle, where the camera will be tilt from the axis, z-axis
Okay.
camera will be rotate.
Mm, mm,
So that this is called Dutch angle.
mm.
So these many angles are there to get used, and where to use which sort. Again, that is the descriptions are there. But these
Yes,
many
sir.
angles, like a editor should
Mm,
be aware of. That is what the concern. And while talking, they can talk like take the Dutch angle and put over their climax shot should be go with Dutch angle and all. So they talk in
mm.
this thing. Fine.
Oh, okay.
Now the movement. So now we have seen only the position. Now the movement
Mm,
is there. So it is like distance wise, and it is the position with reference to the y-axis. It is the position with reference to the z-axis. That means how far it is close up or far away, and it
mm.
is how much up and down, and it is
Yes, sir.
angled.
Mm,
Now, as per the movement, like dolly, panning, these are like sorts, which is
mm,
movement relevant sorts. So angle relevant, we have seen some too. And as per the movement, dolly, trolley, pen, track sort, these all name are there. Track,
mm,
track X, track Y. That means this movement,
mm,
left to right movement and up to down movement. So this is alternatively also called as pen, pen X,
mm.
pen Y, or track X, track Y. Dolly from the center point, if the camera is rotating axis, then this kind of shots will come up. This is Y
Mm.
rotation, this is move, X move and Y move.
Okay.
It is Y rotation, where this will go from left side of the screen to the right side of the screen in an angular way. It is only flat movement, angle movement. Exactly, tilt is there, where X coordinates is just I'm graphing it up because this makes a sense. Up to down camera, if it's moving, then it is X rotation. Left to right, Y rotation. And this will create by Z rotation,
Mm.
Z axis rotation. So where the camera will be rotated in Z coordinate system. So clockwise and anti-clockwise movement will come up. Here up to down movement. Here left to right movement.
Mm.
Like turning. So we have just roughly understood like how many type of shots can be generated by the camera, and that
Okay,
will
sir.
be required for the editor. And
Mm.
this they can use some code language to bring the shots. So
Mm.
that would be informative things. Fine. So before entering into the software, we have just understood like what are the takes,
Project.
shots, what is film project and all, and where it is used.
Mm.
Now, moving to the software, the time we take a project, the software will ask you like the question, what is the size and where we want to locate our project, and where the drive is empty, there we can able to take, because always Premiere take more space in the hard disk, because input
Okay,
is
sir.
there, output is there,
Mm.
and
Mm.
rough rendering is there. And
mm,
if we are switching to the movies, then each frame, let's take an example. If it is a 70 screen movie and we have
mm.
suited it 2K, then
Okay.
ఒక్క frame it occupy in your hard disk 10 MB.
Oh. Mm,
Single frame 10 MB
mm,
space ఇస్తారు
mm.
in raw, because that
Okay.
is DPX and Xenon రెండు footage ఉంటుంది, రెండు టైప్లో
Mm,
ఉంటుంది. They use
mm,
this footage like file format. It
mm,
occupies minimum 10 MB for a single image. So you can
mm.
see how much the TV
Yes, sir.
gigabyte and terabytes
Mm.
external hard disk they are putting up to handle
Yes, sir.
film projects.
Mm,
But
mm.
then in general system, how it is happening, how do they does means they doesn't do that completely on this DPX and Xenon. What is the file format they suited up?
Mm,
They take
mm,
the compressed format like JPEG.
mm,
Editing
mm,
happens in
mm.
JPEG format, like smaller file format. They convert that into smaller file format and they do work.
Okay.
This is what
Mm,
film making. But if it is a HD suited video album and all things, so we all need to make it convert. We work with HD. For that also, it requires some more space. Fine then.
yes, sir.
So regarding
Mm,
the space, we understood like how much space it really occupies, and it is a very
mm,
hectic job. It cannot be handled.
mm,
So what
mm,
film people will do? They will not work edit on the normal RAS footage suited loss RASes.
mm,
They
mm.
make a conversion, and on the conversion files they do work to make
So,
the file processing faster on the editing table.
mm.
So the first job
सर
comes.
सर कन्वर्ट करें तो कंप्रेस नहीं होता सर, क्वालिटी नहीं
हाँ,
जाता.
पूर्ण क्वालिटी पूरा मतलब छोटा कर देते हैं, पर हाँ अभी सही सवाल आप पूछे क्यों करते
हम्म.
हैं ये, और फाइनल आउटपुट कैसे देते हैं. फाइनल आउटपुट जो एडिटिंग होता है ना, वो फाइनल
यस सर.
आउटपुट में नहीं दिया जाता है.
ओके.
व्हाट वी एडिट that doesn't go to the theater.
हम्म.
Then what happens there, they just take the EDL, one of the technical terms yesterday I spoke about,
यस
EDL,
सर, यस सर, यस सर.
edited descent list. They just take the
हम्म.
cut list, that is
हम्म.
technically called as cut list. In cut list,
हम्म.
what is the real number, what is the
हम्म.
frame number, they all take that number into concern and they
ओके.
replace it with the original footage.
ओके. ओके.
Then their original footage goes, but the editing
थिएटर.
information goes there. Information in the form
हम्म.
of paper it goes.
हम्म.
So the work will be very fastly, but the final editing will be happen by the cut list, not by the editor.
सर.
So
यस सर, यस
editor will
सर.
be working on the dummy files. It was the
हम्म.
negative process things, but nowadays
ओके, ओके, ओके. हम्म.
the conversion process doesn't require. Before, like editing to be done to the suited file which is in negative. From
हम्म.
negative again they do a process called telecine process.
हम्म.
In telecine process, what they does, they capture the negative into cassette.
हम्म.
And from the cassette, they capture it into the hard disk through the
हम्म.
capturing card.
ओके.
So this was the long process happening of,
हम्म. हम्म.
and the editing was done in hard disk, but negative
हम्म.
was there which is to be shown in the theater. So
हम्म.
the original cut is not done in negative.
हम्म.
ముందేమి నెగటివ్ కట్టర్ ఉంటుంది, లైట్ బాక్స్ని
हम्म.
చూసి కట్ చేస్తాడు. ఎప్పుడు
यस
ఆ
सर.
నెగటివ్ కట్ క్లోజ్ అయిపోయింది ఆ డిపార్ట్మెంట్.
हम्म. हम्म.
సో నెగటివ్ కటింగ్లో చాలా టైం పడుతుంది, బట్ ఈ సాఫ్ట్వేర్ని
हम्म.
తయారైంది అందుకోసం,
हम्म.
టు
ओके,
మేక్
ओके.
ఇట్ ఫాస్టర్. సో కానీ
हम्म.
నెగటివ్లో ఉంటుంది ఫుటేజ్, అది మన
हम्म.
హార్డ్ డిస్క్ రావాలా. హార్డ్ డిస్క్
हम्म.
రావాలంటే నెగటివ్ హార్డ్ డిస్క్ వస్తలేదు. దే
हम्म.
capture it through a process telecine. They shoot the negative again
हम्म.
in a cassette. Again,
हम्म.
that cassette will be captured by the VCR or VCP like there, no? So they make
ओके.
it capture into the hard
हम्म.
disk. It was the real
ओके सर.
processing, just where I started my career in that processing. But now the department is closed because hard disk shoot is happening now. And negative cutting process has been done off.
हम्म.
But now this shoot is done directly in 2K, and that process is again
हम्म.
heavy. So they need to convert it into
हम्म.
smaller file. So I've just shown you two process of the
हम्म.
things before, hard disk shoot negative processing, after the
हम्म.
negative the hard
हम्म.
disk processing, and both are heavy thing.
हम्म.
So they use a smaller compressive file format to get the fast editing process to be done
हम्म.
up. Even with a very low RAM, we can able to do the editing. Fine. So
ओके सर.
hope we have got some idea like how does the filmmaking process
हम्म.
happens? How is the pipeline of making the process? because from
mm,
editor
mm,
again 2 3 things happens. Just I'm passing out all the information what
mm.
I got some experience, but it's a very long process. And
Yes,
after
sir.
the editing is done, there are three department works even now also. One is
Mm,
called VFX department,
mm,
another is dubbing department. From the
mm,
editor table again two
mm,
things will flow to two department. Some
mm,
from editor, editor will do the cuts and all things, then one of the file will go to the VFX department.
mm,
Roofs, any special effects, all the things will be done by this department, and the other
mm,
department for like dubbing and sound section, RR, re-recording and all things, because sound has to sync and special sound has to be added up. That all things will be done simultaneously, and which is not like VFX works, that will be there with the editor. Yes, all the things will go to the RR, and
mm.
then after again the file will come to, after the work of
Edit.
VFX, it will again come to the editor, and they then after gives the final track.
Yes, sir.
And here the audio track will be added. This information will
Mm,
come to him, and he will put this audio track here.
mm.
So we have understood now. This is the main department. Again, the rushes go here and here also,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
and back to the things to make the final output. So these many
Mm.
departments works.
Yes, sir.
Fine, then
सर
let us
एक
go.
मूवी रेडी करने के लिए कितने दिन लगते सर?
नहीं, यहाँ पे
एट
देखो, जब रियल मूवी होता है ना, तो
हम्म,
अगर प्रोसेस में जाएगा ना, तो मूवी
हम्म,
मिनिमम 1.5 ईयर मतलब मिनिमम चाहिए।
वाह,
पर यहाँ पे तो
हम्म,
1 महीने में भी मूवी रिलीज करते हैं। ये यहाँ
हम्म,
तेलुगु
हम्म,
इंडस्ट्री में बहुत फास्ट काम
हम्म,
होता है, 2 मंथ्स
हम्म,
में भी मूवी कर लेते हैं। पर
हम्म,
मूवी मेकिंग प्रोसेस में आपको एक फेज होता है प्री
हम्म,
प्रोडक्शन, यहाँ पे होता है
हम्म,
ज़्यादा टाइम प्री प्रोडक्शन।
हम्म,
प्री प्रोडक्शन के बाद फिर प्रोडक्शन है,
हम्म,
फिर प्रोडक्शन के बाद पोस्ट प्रोडक्शन है।
ओके,
So pre-production is a time-taking process. It
हम्म,
minimum
हम्म,
takes, the whole story will be done in pen and paper,
हम्म,
clipbook, pen paper. Here all modifications will be done. It is
हम्म,
itself
हम्म,
is a 6 month to 1 year process. This is, if
ओके, ओके,
really it goes in systematic
हम्म,
manner.
हम्म,
Then shooting will be the very less timing process, only
हम्म,
30 days.
हम्म,
If plan is
हम्म,
done, then 30 days very expensive also, because per
हम्म,
day 1 lakh rupees will be expenditure minimum. Like the
ओके
whole
सर,
crew will go,
हम्म,
food is
हम्म,
there, transportation
हम्म,
is there. So it is very expensive, and it is very
हम्म,
less timing process.
हम्म,
Here very
हम्म,
less time, here more time, and it is comparatively mid time.
हम्म,
So that much
हम्म,
of time it doesn't take as compared to the storyboard.
हम्म,
So mid time. So it is high expensive.
हम्म,
It is also more costlier if
हम्म,
VFX is there, or else that was not costly, but it is very expensive, very
हम्म,
expensive, because dates
एक्सपेंसिव,
has to be taken,
हम्म,
location has to
हम्म,
be taken, so
हम्म,
that all expensive work, and it is less expensive.
हम्म,
So now we got a rough idea, like to make a
यस
simple
सर,
movie this many processes
हम्म,
are there, and if we
हम्म,
go systematically, if it is going for 6 months, then it's 1 month, then it is minimum like 2 3 months, then minimum one
हम्म,
year is captured here in this processing, if
हम्म,
it go frame by frame with plan.
यस सर, यस सर,
Fine. So we have got some idea, like what is the
हम्म,
pipeline and what is the
हम्म,
time processing and what are the things. Then it's rough because there is no time, so I'm just clubbing of all the information and passing it
यस
out,
सर, यस सर,
so we can cover a little more. And then coming to the software, yes, in this we need to locate the location, like where we need to save the file. Once the file is
हम्म,
saved in a particular location, then the software will ask you a question like, for what purpose you want to do,
हम्म,
tell me the size.
ओके,
So this is what the next question will be
हम्म,
asked by the
हम्म,
software.
हम्म,
Here we
हम्म,
need to mention like, oh, for what purpose we are doing. So as per the need, we can go for like general, like
ऑल,
formats are taken, like PAL for Indian broadcasting. If it is
हम्म,
something for European broadcasting, then NTSC, or
हम्म,
else PAL is Indian broadcasting.
हम्म,
And here HD and full HD are there.
हम्म,
So we can switch and click over that, so the size will come over here. No need to
सर,
get by heart and all things. If
हम्म,
at all the size is not available, then
हम्म,
we need to switch to the setting box. Here
यस,
we can switch for custom. Here we can define
हम्म,
our own size.
ओके,
So this is predefined sizes, which
हम्म,
is already there. If we
हम्म,
take some sizes, then how many tracks has been taken, how
Mm.
many video tracks, how many audio tracks, and what is
Yes.
the width, what is the height, what is the
Mm.
fps, everything it will be showing up. But
Yes, sir.
if customer comes with a own defined sizes
Mm.
and you want to present something in a tabloid or anything, if the size
Mm.
is not available, then we
Mm.
can switch to the settings and go for custom and fit the number and get the fps set, and that's it of done. Go for okay.
Okay, sir. Mm.
So we have understood now how to take a new project file with reference to the
Mm.
predefined and undefined. Now go for OK. We are just taking a Indian broadcasting PAL size. Here, the sound also retain over here, like with what quality the sound is. Sounds are always calculated with sample rate.
Mm.
So how many samples we are counting, or we are making it to audio at a particular song, that is your sample
Mm.
rate. And the highest is 44,000 kilohertz, like 48,000 samples, or 44,000
Mm.
above is a best quality, CD quality
Okay.
and all. So
Mm.
by default it goes. And whenever we are taking the setting here, also you can able to mention
Yes, sir.
44,001, it is hertz is your CD quality,
Mm.
disc quality, and above to that
Yes,
the
sir.
best quality is set. And
Mm.
yes, sometimes this is to be mentioned mono, stereo, and final master track. This is a thing is there.
Yes,
It will
sir.
be going in
Mm.
very depth, and then after once
Mm.
we start the project.
Mm.
But
Mm.
stereo tracks where left and right channels are there.
Mm.
Even
Mm.
your mono tracks are also available in Premiere. So
Yes, sir.
hope all these options are clear.
Mm.
Now we'll switch to the OK
Okay.
button, and here 720 576 is the things for Indian
Mm. Mm.
broadcasting, which is comparatively a little wider. I mean, like higher height in compared to the television of US and UK.
Yes, sir.
అక్కడ
Yes, sir.
width అదే ఉంటుంది, but their height is less.
Mm.
So by default,
Mm.
the television of US and UK will look wide angle because they are
Mm.
480 in
Mm.
height. We are 576
Yes,
in
sir.
height.
Mm.
హైట్ మనకు కొంచెం ఎక్కువ ఉంటుంది బట్టి స్క్వేర్ ఇలాగా ఫీల్ అవుతుంది,
Mm.
అక్కడ
Mm.
రెక్టాంగిల్
Mm.
ఎలాగా ఉంటుంది. ఫైన్ దెన్ లెట్ మీ
Mm.
టేక్ ఓకే. Now we have entered into the software.
Mm.
Here we will be focusing 2 3 things as per the syllabus into concern, like user interface detail. We have seen introduction part. In introduction we have
Yeah.
seen like why Premiere, where Premiere, what is alternative Premiere,
Mm.
regarding short take and all. Now onwards, the software related things will start up.
Okay, sir.
So switch to the user interface.
Mm.
In the user interface, you can find some of the boxes here. We'll learn this in 2 3 different manner. First, manual method, then we'll switch to professional method,
Mm.
and then to the keyboard method.
Okay, sir.
So same things can be done in 3 methods. So
Mm.
I'll try to catch your eye onto these 3, and we can record. Anyhow, it is in record. I'm also recording over here,
Okay,
and I'll
sir.
put in the YouTube, and I'll give you
Mm.
this
Mm.
link also.
Okay, sir.
Now the first part, as if we got to know 3 way we can move the software.
Mm.
Still, whichever the place you find difficult, make me stop and I'll get it repeat. Fine. Now on screen you can find some boxes. Nothing to get
Mm.
worry. So they are there to help us. Now
Mm.
on a particular box you'll find a yellow color border. Can you also see here? Yellow color
Yes, sir.
border. Then
Mm.
it is
Mm. Yes, sir.
technically called as active panel. Now
Okay.
technical term starts.
Yes, sir.
These boxes are technically called panel.
Panel. Okay.
PNN panel.
Mm.
So, and in a and panel are placed in a particular place that is called frame. Again, a technical
Mm.
term.
Mm.
Frame, panel. What is frame? What is
Mm.
panel? Frame is a place where panel stands. Example, like in this
Okay.
particular frame, one panel is there. In this
Mm.
particular frame, one panel is there. So
Mm.
sometimes finding multiple panels are there in a frame. That is also
Mm.
possible.
Mm.
So we have understood 2 technical term now. One is called frame, another is panel. As if like frame is a home, panel also room of a home. So never the frame is there in a panel, always the panel is there in a frame.
Mm.
Now again, panel is of two types. One is called active panel, which is with yellow color border. Another is called
Mm.
cursor over panel, where the cursor is there.
Okay. Mm.
So cursor over panel, active panel. So as per the condition of the panel, there are few hotkeys will work up. That's why we are focusing on to do that part. Because now the
Okay.
keyboard shortcut will start up. I have not
Mm.
touched any key now. Now, coming to the left top of every panel, you'll find a name of the panel. Can you see this panel name?
Mm.
Project
Sir.
program
Mm.
panel. This is project panel.
Mm.
Again, beside to the name of the panel, you'll find some dotted mark. Can
Mm.
you see?
Yes, sir.
And to the right side of your panel also, you'll find some dotted mark in CS6 and above, CS6 version and below.
Okay, sir.
But
Mm.
if
Yes,
you
sir.
are working with the CC, sometimes you don't find this dotted mark, but rest
Mm.
of the things will be the same.
Mm.
Now, why to focus on that particular part? Anyhow, we can able to understand the name and we can search and talk
Mm.
in the pipeline. Second
Okay,
thing,
sir.
what does this dotted mark does?
Mm.
That is the place where we can able to hold the panel. Now, what we
Okay.
are learning? User interface detail.
Mm.
Now the job is user interface details. Now get this panel to detach from here, not detach like move from here, not the detach,
Okay.
moving.
Mm. Mm.
So the time you move the panel to the other panel, we can find a blue color mark. And
Sir.
this blue color mark will change as per the position of your present panel over to the existed panel.
Okay.
If it is to the left side, that means it is saying like we can able to arrange this particular panel to this particular panel's
Mm.
right side. Are you okay? He is telling.
Mm.
Exactly, if we are dragging over here, then it is telling like program panel will be beside to this project panel. Are you okay? It is asking by the
Mm.
software. If you are satisfied, then leave
Then
it up.
okay. Mm.
If not, we can able to make it place on the center also. Now check the condition. If you are
Mm.
placing on the center, then one above to the other, it will be arranged.
Sir.
And now you can see in a single frame, two panels are there. Whichever require,
Mm.
you can have to sew it up. Everything
Yes,
is
sir.
useful. That's why they given.
Mm.
And you can have to detach it, attach it. Okay, move it.
Mm.
So here we have seen what is called blue color mark and what it indicates.
Yes,
Now
sir.
the next. Drag the panel and move to the extreme end of your interface. Extreme end in the
Mm.
sense left, right, up, down of your
Mm.
user interface. It will occupy the whole edge.
Okay.
So we have seen now how to
Mm.
make the panel to
Yes,
occupy
sir.
more space.
Mm.
Next,
Mm.
at the same place, at the daughter place, if you are dragging with control button, now the first
Mm.
hotkey of the day,
Mm.
control and drag, then it will detach the panel.
Okay.
Before it was moving, it was in
Mm. Yes,
attach,
sir.
but
Mm.
now it is detached. The
Yes, sir.
advantage of detaching it, so we can make the whole software to get just like a button, and you can see
Yes,
the
sir.
desktop and you can do the work. That much of flexible
Yes,
the
sir.
software is. This is the add
Mm.
of flexibility. Next,
Mm.
we are not learning now the Photoshop like Premiere. We are learning
Mm.
After Effects, Premiere. All the things works
Mm.
in this style only.
Okay, sir.
So the same logic we can already apply to After Effects also, where we can move the files like frames, panels here and there.
Mm.
Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Now the keyboard shortcut. The first hotkey of the day, tilt. Tilt means
Mm.
beside to one OSK. You can find on screen there is a digital keyboard you can find here. Beside to
Yes,
one
sir.
there is a small tilt button,
Mm.
and this is the
Mm.
first button to get the what your panel to go for full screen.
Mm.
Wherever
Okay,
your
sir.
cursor is there, that cursor over panel will get full screen.
Mm.
Once the full screen, yes, we can make the details change and find it out the information regarding the footage in the project
Yes,
panel.
sir.
Right.
Mm.
So detaching, attaching, full screening, placing, moving, name finding,
Mm.
everything clear now. If we want, this is the style what we are going to adapt for further, then we can able to save this arrangement. The arrangement of the panels on your screen is
Mm.
technically called as workspace.
Mm.
So now again a technical term, workspace. How to save your workspace? Yes, go to the Windows menu and ask for workspace and make a new workspace.
Yes, sir.
So here we can able to save our own workspace. And whenever we require, you can able to jump to the workspace by clicking on the name. Or
Mm.
else you can switch to the other predefined workspace.
Mm.
Just a minute. So you can find out like predefined workspace are available as per the work into concern, as per the technician into concern,
Mm.
and you can load the workspace. Before we have seen how to save the workspace. Now we have seen how to
Yes, sir.
load the workspace and
Mm.
how can we can switch to the our own workspace.
Yes, sir.
So here workspace saving, workspace loading,
Mm. Mm.
and we have loaded the workspace and we have made some customization. Then after we don't feel like it is what we are looking for, then yes, Windows reset current workspace.
Mm.
Go for yes. So
Okay.
here again back to the reset previous
Personal.
workspace.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
So we have find some solution regarding the workspace. Now one more extra point to spoke up, like here if we move the cursor in between two panel, like frame, not panel, this is one frame, this is one frame looking like a panel, but yes, that is panel only, but it is a frame. Inside that one panel is there, it is a frame, that one panel is there. You can make the space to occupy more or less.
Yes,
Same
sir.
thing happens with horizontal and vertical too,
Mm.
but there is special case in the interest area
Mm.
of 3. Here you can
Yes.
get some 4 directional mark, left, right,
Mm.
up, down
Mm.
together. So
Yes.
hope we have understood how to
Yes, sir.
rearrange the files and all.
Interface. Oh. Mm.
Is it
Mm.
okay? So
Yes, sir.
in the next session, I'll be talking about how to import the footages. So the summary
Mm.
of the class, what we have learned, what is editing, where editing is to be used, what is
Mm.
Premiere, what is
Mm.
the alternative Premiere, what is editing, editor's job, and how many type of editing are there,
Mm.
online and offline.
Yes.
In offline editing, what is the advantage? In online editing, what
Mm.
is the advantage? In the offline, we can have to add some extra things, we can have to cut the things, we can
Mm.
make it to present in a beautiful manner, but in online there is less flexibility. Yes, in online also they have come up with some of the effects also, but offline gives a
Mm.
detailed effects.
Mm.
And then we have understood what is a skeleton of a movie, project sequence, short take, frame, and what is the job role of a clapper boy and a log sheet maintainer. Now
Yes,
how
sir.
many type of camera angles are there, camera shots are there,
Mm.
as per the movement, as per the angle, as per the position, what are those. Then we have entered into the software, and before entering into the software we got to know like what is the pipeline of filmmaking process inside the editor table.
Mm.
And then we have seen the two things, what is pre-production, production and post-production, and which part takes how much time.
Yes, sir.
And then at the end we have entered into the software and we got to know user interface details, how to
Mm.
customize the user interface and all.
Yes, sir.
Is it okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now the
सर
task,
yesterday आप
yeah,
बोले थे
हाँ
सीबीटी बोले ना सर
हाँ,
वो सीबीटी किसके
yeah,
लिए
yeah.
यूज होता है सर
I'll show
नॉर्मल
you. Computer based tutorial.
ओके
मतलब अभी by so this is one of the example of your CBT only, computer based tutorials. So all the movies, all the educations they are converting into classroom books into video format. That is technically computer based tutorials. So this is what Baiju 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, plus 2, all the books they are converting into video format presentations. That is computer based
ओके
tutorials,
ओके
anything. So that is what the in a short format I spoke of. For all the classes, they create the video tutorials. No, that is what. At that point
Mm.
also editor does a major role, how
Okay,
to
okay.
make the information to place proper.
Mm. Mm.
It's okay.
इसको अपन एडिट भी कर सकते हैं सर इन लोगों से
हाँ,
एज ए फ्रीलांसर.
freelancer, yes. So all these things can be done with you.
ओके सर.
Is it okay? Will I close?
ओके सर. सर.
फिर कल हम देखेंगे कि इंपोर्ट कैसा करना.
हम्म.
और मीनवाइल आप जो जो डाउनलोड करना है मैं तो लिख के दिया था कल, वो तो
यस सर.
रिकॉर्ड में रहेगा, वो आप करते रहिए. एंड विल स्टार्ट
ओके.
टुमारो विद द फर्स्ट एडिटिंग जॉब एंड इंपोर्टिंग एंड एडिटिंग.
हम्म. ओके सर. सर कल आप डाउनलोड करो बोले ना सर.
हाँ हाँ
उसमें क्या ऑब्जर्व करना सर? आप
हाँ,
टेक्स्ट
उसमें
बोले,
हाँ
कट्स
क्या,
बोले. हाँ.
हाँ राइट. देखो कि ट्रांजेक्शन होता है तो
हम्म.
पहले कन्वर्सेशन देखो.
हम्म.
तो मैं एक डाउनलोड करने वाला था कि एक्स एस बी ओ
एचबीओ
और
का
किसका भी
डिस्कवर. हाँ.
कन्वर्सेशन का
हम्म.
डाउनलोड करा वाला. एक इंटरव्यू
हम्म.
लेते हैं तो इंटरव्यू
हम्म.
पर्सन देता है क्वेश्चन, और जो
हम्म.
इंटरव्यू देने आया वो आंसर देता है ना. ये
हम्म.
दोनों का कट्स देखो कि कब कट
ओके.
मारता है एडिटर. हमें
ओके.
इन्फॉर्मेशन क्या बोलता है उससे मतलब नहीं, कटिंग कब
हम्म.
करता है.
हम्म.
तो ये क्वेश्चन वाला क्वेश्चन खत्म होने के बाद कट करता है या क्वेश्चन होने से
हम्म.
पहले कट कर लेता है, ये हमें ऑब्जर्व
हम्म.
करना है. एज एडिटर वी नीड टू ऑब्जर्व दैट.
ओके. ओके.
सो दैट इज
ओके
द
सर.
पॉइंट टू बी ऑब्जर्व.
हम्म. हम्म.
और मूवी में देखो तो हॉलीवुड मूवीज में एक थंडर होता है. थंडर
हम्म.
थंडर मतलब लाइटनिंग होता है. बारिश
यस
आया
सर.
तो
यस सर.
लाइटनिंग होता है. तो
हाँ हाँ
लाइटनिंग
हाँ.
कितने फ्रेम में लाइटनिंग करते हैं, वही सॉफ्टवेयर वो लोग भी यूज़
हम्म.
करते हैं, इंडिया में भी यूज़ करते हैं, पर
हम्म.
यहाँ पे
हम्म.
लाइटनिंग वही टूल्स यूज़ करते हैं, पर यहाँ पे आर्टिफिशियल
हम्म.
लगता है. वो नेचुरल क्यों लगता है, तो उसका
हम्म.
टाइमिंग कितना है.
हम्म.
तो ये सारे टाइम फ्रेम का टाइम सेंस आएगा पहले, फ्रेम बाय फ्रेम मूवी
ओके.
को देखने से.
हम्म. हम्म.
अभी क्या है, हम लोग सेकंड्स में देख रहे हैं, पर हमें काम यहाँ
हम्म.
पे फ्रेम में भी करना पड़ेगा. तो एक फ्रेम मतलब
यस सर.
कितना टाइम होता है,
हम्म. हम्म.
वो पल्स हमें रिदम में आना, वो
यस
चेकिंग करते
सर.
करते रिदम में आ जाएगा.
हम्म. हम्म.
इट्स ओके ना.
ओके सर.
फाइन, देन
ओके
we'll
सर.
meet in
थैंक
the next
यू.
session with higher option.
ओके.
Bye bye.
ओके सर. ओके सर. बाय.